Turn your radios up. Turn your radios up. Y'all know who this is. Y'all know what this is. Impromptu stream. B-Eazy back with another one. Late night. I won't be here for a long time, but it will be a strong time. I don't want to keep y'all up too late. You know, I know many of y'all got kids, wives, spouses to attend to. But before I get this started, you know, I gotta hit you.
私も地元民と言っても
さすがです。もう友達できたの？
うん。ぶったあんまこっち見ない方がいいか
This promethazine got me leaning like a cholo in the club. I'm 20 deep. I don't be riding solo. Pull some bad bitches, they vanilla and cocoa. They wanna take some photos when we kick it out in Soho. Chicks are showing tits and popping pussy for my promo. Told them like juvenile, baby, move it for me slow mo. Then I'm right back to the block, cause I keep getting moto. I be flipping, not shrinking. I don't give a fuck about no ho. This nigga name ain't D-Lo, but pimpin' these bitches and stacking this bread forever be my stilo. This is B-Eazy, that dude in the trap making pass smooth. If I ever go broke, then I'm about to pull a jack move. Since a nigga healthy, I don't even gotta worry. With my bitch from Fiji, eating tandoori and chicken curry. That ism is really indie. My pimp game international. I design my own clothes, so I be always looking fashionable. Here's a couple facts about me that y'all didn't know. Some of y'all be getting bread, but I be getting bigger, dawg. I got bigger guns and a whole lot of bad.
Okay, it's that time to activate. We ain't gonna keep y'all waiting. I'm reacting to a video by a lovely content creator. She is a OG, and her name is Lady Boulay, and she is a FBA woman. I don't know if she identifies as FBA. I know years ago she was identifying as African American, only a few years ago. And now she has this video titled, "Should the term African American be retired?" Hold on, let me see if I can make it smaller so you can see it. Should the term African American be retired? And this is the content creator, Lady Boulay. So we are going to get right into the video and I'll get my commentary. Let's commence.
Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. So I'll just jump right into this. Should the term African American be retired? Now, some people are saying that the African immigrants who come here are the real African Americans. I totally disagree with that, because they are benefiting from a term that we created, or that was created for us. A lot of our accomplishments are cataloged under the term African American. I don't think it's fair for them to come in and pick up a term that we made popular and benefit from it, especially when they're the main ones saying we don't have culture, we don't have this, we don't have that. Yet and still they want to inherit a term that was made popular through us and our accomplishments. I used to wonder why Africans got upset because we called ourselves African Americans, because they kept saying, you're not an African, you're not an African. Okay, fine. We accept that. We're not Africans. But they don't want to be called what they are. They're not African.
So for years, people wanted to make us just one big global Negro. You are African. You don't know who you are. And we was running around, not me, but many people were pushing Pan-Africanism. The most prominent Pan-Africans are in America when they should be in Africa. And many of the most prominent Pan-Africans are Pan-Africans in rhetoric, not in results. So We always embraced Africa. We embraced the motherland, even though it never was our motherland. We have been detached and distanced from the continent for centuries upon centuries. Some would say even longer, but centuries is enough. Despite that, despite the ties being severed from the continent very brutally, very barbaric, and you just an unfortunate tragedy, right? We picked ourselves up by our cultural bootstraps and we built a land that didn't even want to see us as human, but we still embraced what we built here. And instead of us being able to enjoy that, other people say, no, no, even though you built this here, and even though you don't know where you're from in Africa, you just have to claim it and be some generic African, even though when you go over there, they don't consider you African. So you have to consider yourself African, but the real Africans don't consider you African, but you still should be crashing out for the motherland that don't crash out for you. Think about this. If a mother's kids and offspring and progeny was kidnapped, do you think that mother would go back great lengths to get her children back? Or would she just say, oh well, lost my kids, tough luck, buttercup? So even if Africa was allegedly our motherland, why didn't our mother come get us? Let's commence.
And Americans, they know where they came from. We were using the term African American because those of us who came to America on the slave ships didn't know where we came from in Africa because it wasn't a place. It was just a big continent that was Ethiopia, Sudan, and one or two other names. The rest of them didn't even have names when we left there. So now we're supposed to go over there and find our place in a place that didn't even have a name when we left there. But anyway,
Yeah, so that's the whole thing too. Once my ancestors fought, bled, died for this land here, they built here, they made a way here, and people are saying you're from this distant country in Africa that didn't even exist when your ancestors were here enslaved, building the foundation and infrastructure of America. How the heck are you going to tell me I'm from a country that didn't even exist when my ancestors were building? Get the flip out of here.
they know they came from Nigeria. They know they came from Ghana. They know they came from wherever they came from in Africa. So why do they want to be African Americans? Why can't they be Nigerian Americans or just be Americans? Why do they need to be African Americans? They weren't even calling themselves Africans before we started calling ourselves Africans.
They say monkey see, monkey do. Nah, it's FBA. See FBA, then do like FBA. Because like Lady Boulay is saying, many of you have a country to call home. You actually do have a motherland. You actually can say, hey, I can trace my family to Ghana, Senegal, Congo, Chad, Cameroon, right? But you don't want to be called Cameroonian American, which would be extremely accurate. And then we can actually have a different discussion. You can tell me about the beauty of your culture in Cameroon or the beauty of your culture in Sudan, but just you being a generic African American or Black American allows you to leech and tether onto a lineage that you had nothing to do with, right? I don't have a lineage that eats plantains, a goosey soup, naan and curry, tandoori. Those are different cultures, very rich, very prominent cultures, but it's not my culture. I want to learn from the people whose culture it is. I don't want to act like, oh, well, this person is a person of color, so we have the same color. Oh, this person's from Africa, and I'm African American, so I'm the same as someone from Somalia. Huh? No, when Ilhan Omar comes over here, she considers herself Somali, not black. Yeah, she'll occasionally say that she's black, but that's only to reap the benefits of what my ancestors fought under the banner of African American. But she identifies as Somali American, which is fine, but just do that all the time. Don't be black on Fridays and Saturday and all through the rest of the week. You're talking about, I'm not black, I'm Nigerian. I'm not black, I'm Haitian. I'm not black, I'm Somali. That's fine. Keep that same energy all the time, 24/7 or 25/11. Let's commence.
They didn't even identify as Africans. So the question is, why do they want to be African Americans in America? Because they want to benefit from a term that we made popular. They want to benefit from everything that we have worked for and struggled for. So I feel like the term needs to be retired. If the term African American cannot somehow be folded into the term Black American or foundational Black American or Solon or whatever they're saying now, then nobody should be able to use it. I absolutely do not believe that Africans should benefit from the term African American. And here is somebody.
I agree. No one else should be able to tether onto that term. Right now, we are in an age, we're in the information age. So it is apropos in the information age that we are about accuracy, right? So we want to be as accurate as possible. So delineation is the only way forward. Disaggregation is necessary for us to be critical in our assessment of who's doing what, who's not doing what, who's excelling, who's failing, right? Many of these other groups like to come over and say that they're model minorities. They're doing so much better than the FBAs. Hey, that may be true. So let's disaggregate the data so that you can have it in evidentiary form, not just speculation. You'll have it on paper to say, look, on paper, look how much better this group is doing. You won't have to rely on per capita. We can just use the raw data. Isn't that what everyone wants? But then suddenly when we say, yeah, let's disaggregate. Let's all the Nigerians check the Nigerian box, all the Somalis check that box. All of the black immigrants and people with an immigrant background check the box just so we can know who is really here, what lineage, what culture they come from. And y'all say y'all want to have a cookout. Cool, let's have a cookout. We don't have to have a cookout and lie about where we from. You feel me? We not gonna go to the cookout and say, yeah, man, I'm from East Oakland. Bruh, you ain't from East Oakland. You from Emeryville. Just say you from Emeryville. I mean, we can still rock out, we can still build, but when you lying about where you from, hard to be trustworthy if you don't even want to stand on where you're from until it's time to reap some benefits or, you know, big up a foreign land. Then suddenly, you know, people love to fly flags. So look, y'all love flying Jamaican flags, y'all love flying Nigerian flags and any flags from other countries. That's perfectly fine. This is America, right? The melting pot. Do it all the time. I don't have any other flags to fly but the American one. So when I do fly the American flag, don't try to shame me and say, you don't know where you are, where you're from. You're not American, you're African. And usually 9.9 times out of 10, when people say, you don't know who you are, you're African, guess where they are? Not in Africa, in America, trying to discourage me from being America. You fled your homeland to come here. If you love Africa so much, why the hell are you not there? It's a fair question. Not to be mean-spirited. It's a serious question. I would like an answer, but let's commence.
That agrees with me.
Need a UGC video for your business? Find me and many other skilled creators on Fiverr. Or you could.
Woo, man, y'all know what be pissing me off. And I bet y'all go through this too. Ever since we've been on the FBA wave, ever since we've been calling ourselves Black Americans, the whole delineation movement, it never fails. Every goddamn post, it about to be a African gonna pop up in there and say some dumbass shit like, We the real African American. No, hell you not. No, my foo-foo. Shut that dumb ass shit up. Shut your weird hairline having ass up. Y'all can't use our old slogan. When Jordan retired, they put the 23 up and couldn't nobody else wear it. We're retiring African Americans. We're no longer calling ourselves African Americans, but you can't call yourself African Americans. That jersey retired, that shit up in the rafters. Y'all gotta call yourself African in America. It's 3 words. If you from Nigeria, you're a Nigerian in America. If you from Ghana, you're a Ghanaian in America. Don't call yourself no goddamn African American. We were the old African Americans. We retired that shit. Can't nobody use it no more. You only can be an African in America.
I am in total agreement of what he said, but here's another point of view.
So I said this in a few of my videos, but the OMB, the Office of Management and Budget, is over the racial and ethnic identifiers in America. I feel like the term African American, it has to be removed off of the Black American ethnicity. It needs to be removed from Black American. It needs to be removed from Black. Black and African American are not synonymous. The African American label was put on Black Americans in the year 2000. The year 2000 is when African American was added to the census from the OMB, the Office of Management and Budget. So anybody, all my Black Americans that's fed up with this African American umbrella term, that
I'm definitely fed up with the term, but he's saying it was added to the census in 2000 from the Office of Management and Budget, but it was introduced in 1988. Our elders wasn't calling themselves African American. If you were born in the 80s, before 1988, you weren't born an African American, and people had no say on it. They had did a poll at the time, and people were rejecting African American. So they got some boule, bootlicking, buck-broken Sambos and bozos, i.e. Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. They came, they went to the church with the Democratic establishment and other powers that be. And because the whole African American term is to have you disillusioned, to think that you're looking towards some Wakanda, but it makes you comparable towards an immigrant, while every other group, not every other group, but some other groups get to claim indigenous and say that, hey, you're an immigrant and, you're not foundational to this land. And that's really why that term is shaking so many people up, because the African American term is a very disempowering term, and it's a dishonest term, and is also an inaccurate term as well. So in 88, I believe Jesse Jackson, you know how they like to say, many Black people do have some indigenous roots. Some could say they only have 1%, some may have 10%, some may have a lot more than that. But Jesse Jackson, I believe Jesse Jackson gets tribal benefits of being an Indian, an indigenous person. So while he has tribal benefits of being a Cherokee, and many of us have ancestors, especially us coming from the South, that talked about us having, Aboriginal or indigenous ancestry to the land, right? But there were people like Walter Plecker, look this up, Walter Plecker and other people who reclassified anybody that was indigenous Aboriginal with a darker phenotype. Yeah, if you got an afro and a darker phenotype, you're reclassified as Negro, which means you will be denied any tribal benefits and you'll be treated like the Negroes, which are subhuman. So people like Jesse Jackson, he's over here benefiting from calling himself an Indian. He has tribal citizenship. So while he and his people were saying, yeah, man, I'm indigenous, He was saying, I'm just like y'all. I'm an African American. But when it comes time to check that box, he doesn't check African American because he doesn't believe in it. Our elders didn't believe in that term. It was a term that was imposed on them. No one took a vote and said, hey, do you guys want to call yourself African American? It's just a form of paper ethnocide. They just put it on the paper. So whether you want to identify with that as or not, it's just on the paper. There's people that don't want to identify with FBA, Foundational Black American Freedmen, but freedmen is the legal term. FBA is what some would say the social colloquial term, but it's been the most galvanizing term in this delineation movement and what I call the delineation process. But the African American term just needs to retire, and everyone needs to hold their own nuts, hold their own lineage, hold their own failures, and hold their own accomplishments. It's a beautiful thing. When Usain Bolt wins the world record, that's a Black Jamaican man. That's a win for Jamaica. That win should go to Jamaica. I don't want to see Usain Bolt win it and say, here, man, that's FBA pride right there. No, I'm proud to see another Black man shining and winning. That doesn't mean that I need to tether onto his lineage just because that's a great accomplishment. And that's what others like to do. Well, Malcolm said this, and Martin said that, and Fred Hampton said this. Okay, that's cool. What did the people from your lineage say? Who is the Mexican version of Martin Luther King? Who is the white version of Fred Hampton? Who is the Asian version of MLK? Who is the Jewish version of Frederick Douglass? I mean, we can go on and on. See, people love to name our influential figures who weren't called African American at the time. Dr. Martin Luther King got assassinated in 1968. When he was assassinated, no one was calling him an African American. They were calling him Negro and everything but a child of God. But they were not calling him African American. So this is a term that's imposed on us. When I was born, hey, I had no say in this term. It's just, oh yeah, you're African American. Says who? Some bootleggers and non-Black people? No, we have a right to our intellectual sovereignty. Look that up. Intellectual sovereignty. We don't have to just be generic Africans from this mysterious motherland that doesn't exist. We are the foundation of America. There wouldn't be no USA without FBA. Let's commence.
It's ambiguous and vague. It's time that we collectively overwhelm the OMB with emails telling them that we want to be a Black American. Black is our ethnonym. It's not a racial identifier. It's an ethnic identifier. We have HBCUs. We have BET, Black Entertainment Television. Our history, our culture is Black. We are Black Americans. We no longer want to be associated with the word, with the word African American. It's an umbrella term.
I think it should be made clear that nobody should use the term.
Yes, nobody else should use the term, hang it up, retire it, stand on your own lineage. Elon Musk is African American, right? He can claim African American. He's South African, and he's American. Look how nebulous and broad that term is. French Montana is African. French Montana, like, what is he? Is he Asian? Yeah, he's Moroccan, but is he a dark Caucasian? Is he Asian? He's definitely not Black. But based on the nebulous term, he could claim that he's African American. He's Moroccan in Africa, and he's American with American citizenship. And that's how it gets tricky, because someone has American citizenship, then they say they're just as American as you. And that's what the Constitution says. So they check the American box and they check the African box. And some tethers like Myron Amru Fudil Gaines will say, I'm more African than you because he's Sudanese. And To some extent, he does have some legitimacy, right? He has actual roots and lineage in Africa. I don't. There's a difference between having African genetics and African ancestry. Let's commence.
Term African American, because that term has been associated with us, with our identity, and with our accomplishments as Americans. So Africans can come up with their own term. If they aren't comfortable with just being called American, they have shown a preference for trying to assimilate with white people. White people just call themselves Americans. So they can just call themselves Americans, or Americans in, or Africans in America, like the other guy said, or whatever they want to call them.
Yeah, we're FBA and y'all are AIA, AIA, Africans in America. It's a beautiful thing. You just ain't FBA.
But not African Americans, because that is our term. And that is how we have been identified for the last 20, 30, 40 years. I don't know how long it's been going on, but it's been going on too long to just hand it over to somebody else and let them benefit from it, even as they claim we don't have culture. Well, hell, that's our culture. Calling ourselves African Americans. That's our culture. That's not theirs. They didn't even call themselves Africans until they got over here. So anyway, y'all, let me know what you think about this. Should the term be retired? Or are you okay with Africans calling themselves African Americans, even though they didn't earn the title? In my opinion, let me know. Have a good evening.
Okay, and that was the video from Lady Boulay. She is on the side that we should retire the term African American. I believe that we should. I think that we should have a more accurate representation of people's lineage, heritage, and ethnicity. So that way we can better understand each other with the cultural nuances, rather than try to act like someone from Senegal is no different than someone from Burkina Faso, and someone from Cameroon is no different from someone from Nigeria. But I got one more video that I'm going to get into, because I told you I ain't going to be here for a long time, but it will be a strong time. And this is going to show pretty much why, we've delineated, right? Because many people think, oh, it's divisive. Why are you delineating? How could you delineate? But delineation is the only way forward. And actually, we are late to the delineation process. Foundational Black Americans were the only ones pushing Pan-Africanism. If you think I'm lying, go to the motherland and see. Right now, Ghana and Nigerians are at each other's throat, kicking each other out of the motherland. You can't just go freely to other countries in Africa. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger in the Sahel region, they're trying to do their own thing to fight back against the colonial powers. They don't have support of the majority of the African nations. So as much as people are pushing us to be on this one big global Negro Pan-Africanism, they're not even on it. But let me get into this video. This is going to be a video of the brother Tariq Nasheed. And Tariq Nasheed has been doing this thing on TikTok so much they calling it Tariq Talk. Bro is over there been cooking. And this has been necessary because we've been way too lenient in terms of checking people about our lineage. And this video is on Tariq Radio channel. It's titled Refugee Said This About FBA. And videos like this is happening every day. I get it, right? This doesn't represent everyone. So I'm not the type to generalize and overly generalize a group. But what happens is, if other people are not going to check they people, see with us, We have names for our sellouts: tap dancers, raccoons, sambos. I know people like to say Uncle Tom, but just like people need to retire the term African American, people need to retire the term Uncle Tom. Once you say Uncle Tom, it lets me know that you didn't read the book. The book is Uncle Tom's Cabin. That's where the term comes from. Uncle Tom was one of the good ones. So if you are going to use that in a pejorative term, in a derogatory manner, the appropriate term is Sambo, right? Sambo may not sound as sexy as Uncle Tom, but it's more appropriate. Think of it like this. If you've seen the movie Django, Django would have been an Uncle Tom type character, and Steven would have been the Sambo. Okay? So we don't want to hear y'all say that no more. But let's get right into the video, and y'all will see this is a case study of why we had to delineate. It's the only way forward. But let's see what they got to say.
What's up, Sliding?
Tagwe, Idabukai, Barabandi, Waitukubuli, Shamahane. I said, hello, how are you? By way of Dominica, Shamahane, Grenada, where Malcolm X's mother's born in New York.
Yes, indeed. And what Malcolm X's father is a foundational Black American who was in Nebraska. So
yeah, I know that. I know.
So this is one thing that they like to do with Malcolm X, because Malcolm X, like Tariq said, his father is FBA, but his mom is Caribbean. So they try to say that, well, he's Caribbean. Okay, nothing about him was Caribbean. He had Caribbean lineage, which I don't think he denied, but he grew up on the soil. He was a foundational Black American. There's nowhere in history where you see him identifying as that. And I'm not saying that this is a big deal, but when people say delineation is divisive, other people are trying to delineate and try to, claim our cultural accomplishments. Malcolm X got it popping here in this land, in this soil, not in the Caribbean. Right? And if the Caribbean wants to claim Malcolm X, where's the Malcolm X of the Caribbean? Right? Because if the Caribbean produces and breeds Malcolm X type figures, there should be a gang of Malcolm X's running right now, because that's the heart and soul, right? But instead, they always get it popping here. Why and when do they get it popping? Because they're around FBAs, the Pulse, the Source. We are the standard. We are the culture. This is not to be pompous. This is not to be cocky or arrogant, but it is to be accurate. Let's commence.
Yes,
I know that. I know
Yes,
that.
indeed.
So my tribe defeated Columbus. We was the Caribs, and we literally barbecued people, colonizers. We ain't play. We stood on business. So what I'm trying to ask you is this, right? What do you feel about some FBAs that'll go back in the time and be like, question Malcolm X's mother? You know what I'm saying? Just because of like what do you feel? Do you think that's fair, or that's a little bit over the deep edge?
I don't know what that's about. That's some individual stuff. That ain't got nothing to do with
That's
lineage.
individual?
Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with no lineage at all.
I don't even know why bro came up and asked that question. Sometimes people like to come and ask Tariq, many people, and shout out Tariq because he is a stand-up brother, and he's a public figure. He's an influential figure, but he's not a leader. He said he's not a leader. He's definitely ain't my leader. So when people come and say, oh, well, some FBA said this and I didn't like it, what do you think about it, Tariq? Bruh, it's over 48 million FBAs alone, not even counting the African and Caribbean immigrants. We're not all going to be on the same accord. Many of us is on code. A lot of us is buck broken tap dancers. That doesn't change your lineage. I.e. Jesse Lee Peterson is probably one of the most vile Sambos in U.S. history. He's still FBA. He was born on a plantation. That's as FBA as it gets. He's still a Sambo. So we can compartmentalize. This dude's calling kind of really on some messy hoe shit. Some dudes were mad and said something about Malcolm X's mom. Okay, go check those dudes. Why you calling Tariq about that shit? Come on, man.
Okay, cool, respect for that. And then another thing too. I heard stuff about Jamaica and all that. The indigenous word is Zaimaka, right? Land of wood and water.
Okay.
Can you name 12 Caribbean Antilles nations without teacupping?
Let me see. We got Trinidad. We got who we got? Trinidad, Haiti. How many Caribbean nations? Trinidad, Haiti, Turks and Caicos. Cuba. That's Caribbean. Puerto Rico.
Bro, what are these questions even about? Go ask some Caribbean. Let me fast forward a little bit, man. This dude asking some weird questions. Go ask some Caribbean people if they can name 12 Caribbean nations. I'm fast forwarding it a little bit.
Arawaks of the Blue Mountains. Dagway, take.
And I understand.
So you must have said something slick.
Yeah, I did. I definitely did.
Okay, so why were you saying something slick?
Because I kind of saw you talking shit about black immigrants, but I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, it's not all immigrants that are tethers, but like, I'm not an immigrant. I was born here, so it's too late.
You're first generation, so
yeah, but I'm still not an immigrant.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but
I'm from America. Once you're born here, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Well, tell us to the first.
You may not be an immigrant, but what he's saying is you have an immigrant background. Your parents were immigrants, or you have a close relationship to immigrants, and that's not a bad thing. See, it's funny because the Democrats like to say immigrants built the nation and we're a nation of immigrants, and then when you start pointing out someone's immigrant lineage, they're like, I'm not an immigrant. I thought you were so proud to be a model minority immigrant. And then when it's time to lean into your immigrant lineage, you want to try to say, well, my lineage is just like yours. No, it's not.
The Africans who came here and they had kids in America. They're not, the kids aren't immigrants anymore. They're not anchor babies or what?
Well, you're not of our lineage, so we have a different.
I get it, but it's like the same thing. Anybody who's just born here is American.
No, because the people who are the foundation here, we have a different disposition and a different bloodline and a different spirit.
That's
right?
cool. That's cool.
Right? That makes sense?
Yeah, but I'm not trying to be all, you know what I'm saying?
You're not trying to be what?
I'm not trying to be an FBA, or I don't want connections.
You can't be. You can't be.
Yeah.
Dude, man, what are you mumbling about? Yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not trying to be FBA. You can't be. I wouldn't say, man, I'm not trying to be a Jamaican. I'm not trying to be a Haitian. How could I be a Haitian when I have no Haitian family members? I'm not trying to be a Chinese person. I have no Chinese people in my family. So this dude is just kind of babbling incoherently. Bruh, you're not of our lineage. You're of a different lineage. That's okay, bruh. We accept you. We rock with you. It's just you don't got to lie to kick it.
I wouldn't want to be anyway.
Yeah, you can't because you fled. Your family fled. Yeah,
we didn't flee.
Yeah, you come from fleeing.
No, fleeing is running from a dangerous place. I didn't run from a dangerous place.
Oh, yeah, shit.
You were dragged here butt naked in chains.
Oh, and you were beat butt naked on your home.
There we go. You were dragged here butt naked in chains. Let it all out, bruh. So it makes it even worse because Tariq is saying, bruh, you fled your homeland. You couldn't cut it in your homeland. So that's why you had to flee to our homeland where we built it here. And he's saying, no, man, it wasn't bad there. No, bro. Okay, so if it was all good and you was living the life and you was some Prince of Zamunda or the Prince of Wakanda, why did you leave? Why are you not there sowing your royal oats? Instead, you hopped on a boat. See, you said we was dragged on a boat in chains. but you hopped on a boat or maybe an inner tube and you fled here, and now you want to try to denigrate the people that were enslaved? Come on now. And who sold those slaves? See, we know who bought those slaves, but who sold them again? Remind me. Let's commence.
No, you were beaten when you first came here. You got your ass when you first came here.
Beating you now.
You were beaten and raped and murdered.
Yeah,
You were hung on trees. You were
You're doing that in Nigeria now, sir. You're getting beaten.
It's happened to me in Nigeria. When I go to
No. You're getting beat. That's why you here.
Nigeria,
you getting beat.
Man, shout out to Nigeria. You know, I love Nigerians. I love Africa and Africans, but come on, bruh. He know that the area he was, I'm sure there are great places in Nigeria, but the place that he fled from was not great. Just type in Nigeria and rolling blackouts. Just type in Nigeria and corruption. Just type in Nigeria and sexual assault cases. Type in Nigeria and child brides. Don't take my word for it. Type that in and let me know what you find.
Hyena legs. Yeah, you getting beat with hyena legs. No. They're beating the crack of your ass over there in your homeland. That's why you're here. They're beating you with bamboo sticks, sir. That's why you're here, safe with us, sir.
You're gonna beat my nicely by the white man, bitch.
You did? Don't you dare try.
You're gonna beat by the white man.
Are you trying to sound tough with your little old sassy musty self?
Yourself, you're not tough.
Wow. Uh-oh. I got to do it. I gotta do it.
And you know what, nigga? You acting like a little bitch right now. You acting like a little bitch right now, nigga. Man, fuck that. I ain't letting that shit ride.
Bro sounded so moist. You're getting beat by the white man, bitch. Bruh.
What did you say, nigga?
Bro sounded like a moist maniac. Let's commence.
Are you trying to sound tough, sir? First of all, you sound very frail and hungry. All right, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Fat and you eat like too much fried chicken.
No. Don't. You eat too much.
Bro sound like a frail fruit pop. And here he goes with the, you're eating too much fried chicken. Okay, I know Tarika said they eating fried bush meat. You know what I mean? They eating, what'd he say? Hyena hot wings. You know, lemon peppered lizard legs. Baby back zebra ribs. Washing it down with cheetah pea. Like, come on, bruh. You don't really want to do this.
Fried bush meat.
Eat fried chicken.
You eat too many fried chimpanzees.
And think about our food stereotypes. What are you gonna go do? Eat some watermelon? Watermelon is delicious. There's a lot of health benefits. And men, if you need a little extra down there, it's called nature's Viagra. So you can have, so you can be in there, you can be with your spouse for a long and a strong time. What's wrong with watermelon? Oh, but because blacks eat it, watermelon is bad. And look at those blacks with those big lips. Oh, you mean the same big lips that a bunch of non-black people are getting fillers to have the big watermelon soup cooler lips? Those lips? You guys love fried chicken. Do we love fried chicken more than Asians? Asians cook and eat a lot of fried chicken, right? And fried chicken is delicious. Fried chicken, lemon peppered lizard legs. Which one you choosing?
Chimpanzees. Fried chicken is better than fried chimpanzees. All right. So you snuck bushmeat over here. You're very jealous and vitriolic, and you're mad because we're delineating from you.
Jealous of a person with a white surname.
Okay, and yes, sir.
Sometimes you hear Tariq and you like, damn, bro, why is dude trolling? Why is he being so divisive? But this level of energy is necessary. You know how they have good cop, bad cop, the yin and yang. We need people to be intellectual and cultural enforcers as well. But when he keeps bringing up bushmeat, there was a story, I believe it was in Detroit or some other part of Michigan, where there was some African person that was smuggling in pounds of bushmeat. Don't take my word for it. Look it up.
Sir, you from a country that has a white surname. Nigeria was named by a white woman, but thank you. Yeah, I know you're not about to talk about food dishes. Nigga, fried chicken is way better than fried cheetah. All right? Oh, yeah, he did the 4 T's. He did the 4 T's. A little jealous at that, but they hate the fact that they had to flee and, oh.
Yeah, look, if you had to flee your homeland, you know what? We really don't care. If you had to flee your homeland, I understand. But what happens is why you get roasted and why people start calling you out is because you flee your homeland and then you start trying to pop your collar. Then you start trying to act gangsta and start acting tough. But you wasn't tough with the non-black people in your homeland where you're the majority of. They're slapping you up and down and all around. Then that's where we got to look at you side-eyed, and then we got to check you. We got a lineage check, we got a cultural check, we got a community check, and we got to make sure you're nowhere near our reparations check because you are just there to undermine it. So all we doing is getting some straightening, that's all. Starched or pressed, nigga. So let me rewind. So I'm going to fast forward it a little bit, and after I react to this segment, I'm going to get ready to shut her down.
Yeah, our lineage trace back farther than yours. Yeah, a lot of these folks don't even have birth certificates. Yeah, we don't owe them no explanation. We don't. But yeah, that's the con game. Yeah. But we go back to the 1600s, 1700s. I can go back to the 1700s, and that's just on like the ancestry.com website. And when we go deep, we can go back farther than that. But around that time, those countries, the countries over there in Africa now, none of them countries existed. The only country that was there consecutively was Ethiopia. But all these other countries, they've been...
And there's many Ethiopians that consider themselves Arab or dark Caucasians. Some consider themselves black. Many are on that, I'm not black, I'm Ethiopian. So yeah, when people are trying to say you're from this or that part of Africa, like that part didn't even exist when my ancestors were here, fighting, bleeding, dying, living, building here.
Absorbed, remixed, flipped, turned into something else. Come on, that's the reality. That's the reality. Them countries didn't exist. They don't exist no more. It's a whole crop of different nation states over there. Oh, look at us. We got 500,000 likes. There we go. That's how we do it. We got 500,000 likes up here. Oh, the tether's going to get real. But look at this shit. Yo, give this nigga 500,000 likes. What is this? What is this FBA sheet? 500,000? What is it? What about me? I matter too. Musty lives matter. All right, musty lives matter. Shout out to the chain. Shout out to the gifts. Shout out to everybody for the gifts. Respect. Respect to the family.
Musty lives do matter because you don't have to be musty. Being musty is a choice, and luckily the bro Tariq does have some amazing deodorant, root work. It will help you get that funk from up under them pits.
All right. All right. Where's the heart button? Thing right there on the top. You go to the top and just hit that button. All right. Ty Powell. Shout out to Ty Powell. All right. Let me get some more folks in here. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right. And we welcome everybody. Hostile tethers, friends, allies, everybody. We welcome everybody. What's up, Lucky? What's up, Lucky?
Oh, dude. Yeah.
What's good with it, brother?
What's up, man?
I'm here. What city you in, Lucky?
I'm in Seattle.
So shout out to Seattle, man. How's everything going up there?
Everything is good, man. Just enjoying your live, that's all.
I'm good. That's a gangster name. I like that name, Tony Thunder. That's a
Thank you.
What's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. Reaching out from
Tony. I'm not Tony. No, man. K Ali, I think is your.
Greetings. Good morning.
Hey, beloved. How are you, dear?
I'm good.
Now, how old are you? You sound very young. How old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, now where you from, Kay?
I'm from St. Louis. I grew up in Indianapolis and I live in Atlanta.
Okay. You're a foundational Black American?
Yes.
Okay. So what's on your mind, beloved?
I see them talk about you a lot on the panels, especially the African panels, and they think that you promote like that this is a hate organization and that they call you the leader. And I wondered about that because I grew up in the Nation of Islam, so I'm familiar with you.
Yeah.
But I don't understand like the stance, your stance, because I know at one point in time you was promoting Pan-Africanness, right? Do you not promote that anymore?
Nobody can really define that. I've never promoted the idea of us moving to Africa and giving up life in the West. I've never promoted that because that's what.
So a lot of people like to do this with Tariq as some sort of gotcha and say, hey, he promoted Pan-Africanism. Instead of insinuating, come in and say, Tariq, based on your past projects and videos, I assumed or presumed that you were a Pan-African. Am I making a wrong judgment or a miscalculation, or is that a false statement? Instead, they try to come in like he has a acronym of the 4 T's, but they're tiptoeing in and acting like, hey, it's all good, buddy. It's all good, my brother. I just want to talk. And then they're acting unfamiliar and saying, well, these groups are saying this and this and that about you. You're in a group full of hostile tethers. Of course they're going to say this stuff, but let's see what else she got to say.
To me, that's what Pan-Africanism is. We all pack up and go to Africa and all that. So that's a talking point that the tethers like to say. I'm all about our lineage. I'm just respecting our lineage. I've always been a foundational Black American. I'm not a continental African. So all that I promoted Pan-Africanism. No, I show love to, what's that? Oh, hold on. Let me slow that down for a minute. That's just a weak talking point. It doesn't mean anything. That literally don't mean nothing. That's just them talking. It ain't got nothing to do with my lineage. My lineage is my lineage. Do I like Africans? Yeah. Do I like Caribbeans? Yeah. Do I like tethers? No. That's what it is.
Yeah. So do you believe that?
I thought he broke that down very simple, very plain. I don't have an issue with Africans. I don't have an issue with Caribbeans. I have an issue with tethers. Just because you are of a different lineage, that doesn't make you a tether. What makes you a tether is knowing that you're of a different lineage, ethnic background, and heritage, but you try to tether onto the accomplishments, the cultural achievements, and the intellectual cultural sovereignty of FBA to subjugate and undermine it. That is what a tether is. So someone like Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, some will call him a tether, but when he immigrated to the country and he was on his whole Black Power hype and he was fighting, for liberation, that is not tethering. Minister Louis Farrakhan has a Caribbean background. Now, people have speculation about his involvement with Malcolm, but widely he's not considered a tether because people don't see him as a having a track record of going out of his way to undermine FBA. So I always have to reiterate, because many people try to say, oh, you know, you guys are just being xenophobic, calling everyone a tether. No, tether is an action word. If you behave like a tether, you will be called one. And you notice nobody has an issue with us calling out the tap dancing raccoons in our community, right? No one has an issue. You don't hear a campaign of people saying, stop calling people coons. But then people panic if someone gets called a tether. If you can get called a African booty scratcher, if I can get called a nigger with a hard ER, you can get called a tether if you're behaving like one.
We were already here in America, or do you believe that we originated in Africa?
Okay, here's the thing, because people want to get into the Aboriginal and did we come from Africa? All of that is true. The problem is this, or the key is this. When we got on this land, there was an ethnogenesis, all right? When we were on this land, there was an ethnogenesis. We became a whole different ethnic group, all right? So that's where ethnogenesis started. So if we came from Africa, yeah, we came from Africa. There was some Aboriginal people here too. It was a combination. But we are.
And just so the family is familiar with this term, ethnogenesis, the first known use of the term was in 1862. And an ethnogenesis is the process by which a group of people become ethnically distinct. It's essentially the formation and development of a new ethnic group. And that's what Tariq emphasizes, where foundational Black Americans are an amalgamated group of formerly enslaved Africans, of free Black Aboriginal and freedmen, and also Europeans. That's the amalgamation. Some can say, oh, well, the percentages are different, right? Some may have 20% European, some may have 40, some may have 10, some may have 40% indigenous, some may have 1. But the ethnogenesis is saying that it's an amalgamation of all of those groups that created an entirely new and distinct ethnic group. Think of it like this. There's chocolate ice cream, there's vanilla ice cream, there's strawberry ice cream. All individual separate ice creams. Once they come together, and there's the Neapolitan. Neapolitan would be the ethnogenesis. Neapolitan is not strawberry ice cream. Neapolitan is not chocolate ice cream. Neapolitan is an ethnogenesis, an amalgamation of chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. That's what FBA is. That's what an ethnogenesis is. Let's commence.
Now a new ethnic group. We became a new ethnic group with the foundational Black Americans. We're not continental Africans. You understand? Okay, I don't know why that noise is coming up. We're not continental Africans, and we're not a part of Native American tribes anymore. That's another thing. We're not a part of these Native American tribes. These Native American tribes were dissolved, or many of these Native American tribes were co-opted by the white tea supremacists.
Yes, many of those Native American tribes were co-opted. If you look at the Dawes rolls, and you know about the $5 Indians, where white people were paying $5 to get on the Dawes roll. And also many of those Native Americans owned slaves, and they worked with the W supremacists to subjugate us, to enslave us, and to deny us access to the tribal benefits and to any tangible treaty benefits. So it wasn't just these poor little innocent Native Americans who were being oppressed and colonized. No, it wasn't just that. Yes, they were being slaughtered. Yes, they were being treated in a very barbaric and heinous way. And you know what? They turned around and did the same thing to us. They turned around and linked up with the people who were being barbaric to them and did it to us. And as much as they got genocided in the flesh, physically and on paper, they worked to completely genocide and ethnocide us. Was it every single tribe? No, but it was enough of them, and it was very prevalent and pervasive. And you notice that many of the Native Americans, they'll go out of their way to try to say that, you know, black people, you're not indigenous, you're pretendians, but they won't call Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, a pretendian. They got so many chiefs in there that are lily white, they won't call them a pretendian. But any of the black tribal members get denied citizenship and denied benefits. They have to fight tooth and nail in court. But meanwhile, the white European, air quote, Native American people get no pushback. They just get the red carpet rolled out for them. Why are there no black indigenous casinos, but there are a bunch of white ones?
Now, there's some people who say that they're part of these tribes. How you got that continuity and you still a part of certain tribes? I'm interested to see how that worked out. But we became a different group. We became a new group, and it's the oldest continuous ethnic group in America, and we are the foundation of it. That makes sense, Ms. Kai?
I guess it makes sense, but I know, like, when I'm up on the panel, and the thing that they constantly bring up is that, like, even y'all leader, and I didn't even know, I don't know why I didn't know that they considered you our leader. So that part was new to me. But they're like, even y'all leader tells you that you're African. So I guess for clarity with you, do you believe that most of us came here on slave ships, or do you believe that most of us were already here and only a small percentage of us came here?
That don't matter.
So this is her second time answering or asking this question when he already answered the question. Where is she going with this?
I just kind of explained it, so it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. That's irrelevant.
But how for them, they feel like if most of us came over here on slave ships, that we should still own the fact that we're African.
No.
Why the hell does she care what they think? She know that these are disingenuous and hostile tethers, but she keeps saying, well, they said this and they said that. It's a lot of goofy people that say all sorts of stuff. You don't need to call up Tariq to complain about it. What the hell are you doing about it? Why are you sitting in there engaging with people that you know are bad faith, that you know are liars and dishonorable? That makes you kind of suspect.
Oh, why?
I mean, I don't claim to be African. I do feel like...
let's do this. Let's say 100% of us came on the ships. We're still not continental Africans. Let's just go there. Let's say 100% of it, which is not the case. Let's say 100% of us were brought here on ships. We're not continental Africans still, because we had an ethnogenesis. That's why I say it's irrelevant. We don't even get into that conversation because it's a time-wasting conversation. They know that we're a different group now. They know this, but they want to run a Jedi mindset. They argue in bad faith. Again, they know that there is no leader. They know that, but they feel powerless because we've delineated, and they can't do anything about it. They can't co-opt foundational Black American. They can co-opt African American. They can even co-opt Black American, but they can't co-opt foundational Black American. That's a lineage-based designation. These people, let's be clear.
Think about this. They had no issues when we called ourselves African American, so they can tether on to that and say, hey, I'm African American too. No issues with Black American, tether on and say I'm Black American too. Once we say we're foundational Black American, Negro, freedmen, descendants of the formerly enslaved chattel property here, we can trace our lineage back to the 1860 census, and some even further than that. That's what it means to be a foundational Black American. You're not an immigrant. You don't come from an immigrant background. Once people are not allowed to leech and tether onto that lineage, they just start going berserk. But hey, you come from a very rich, prominent, prolific culture, right? Claim that. Stop trying to tether on to my lineage.
Beloved, they know there is no leader. They know I'm not no damn leader of a damn lineage. That's some shit they made up. It's their lie. They know it's a lie. They made it up. You don't listen to tethers. They're tethers. How did they do in their homeland? You understand?
Right. Yeah, I understand. And I think you are a leader.
No, I'm not.
You don't think you're a leader?
No. How you lead a lineage?
Not about leading a lineage. You just lead people. Like, people follow you, people listen to you. Your voice is powerful. That's being a leader.
No, it's not. That's just being somebody. People like me. I'm a likable person. That don't mean I'm a leader.
People follow, like, and listen to Nick Fuentes. He's not a leader. He's just a little gay groiper. People like, follow, and listen to Andrew Tate. He's not a leader. He's just a biracial, buck-broken bozo. Just because someone follows you and listens to you doesn't mean you're a leader. In order for you to be a leader, you have to openly accept that mantle. Tariq doesn't want to be a leader. He is a public figure, an influential figure. Let him influence. He doesn't need to lead. I mean, do you need Tariq to lead your life for you to know how to be a better parent, a better man, a better boss, a better worker? No. So, no, he's not a leader. So stop trying to put that on him.
I'm likable. Even the TV networks say that. There's something called a Q rating that they do a test on to see certain people when they get in front of the camera. There are people that folks like, audiences just kind of gravitate to. That don't make you the leader. There's people, I have a likable personality. But I'm not a leader. Lead you where? Where am I going to lead you to?
So, but you don't feel like you're switching up sides, basically, because that's kind of the argument. Like, first he was big on the unity, being a Pan-African. Now he's telling you guys to separate yourself. Okay. I mean, and it's okay to switch up sides, but do you feel like you did that?
Now, you said the same thing about 3 times that was false, and I've corrected it, and you circle back and said it again, and you worded it a certain way, and that's not by accident. Why'd you do that?
Because I just wonder, like, because I know.
Hold on. You're not. Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
Where are you from?
St. Louis. I'm from St. Louis. I have 2 Black American parents, 4 Black American grandparents.
Now you're not being honest, dear.
Why would you think I would get up here and lie? I just told you I grew up in a nation of Islam. Like, I'm Black American. I'm pro-Black. I get on these panels and argue with them all the time.
No, because you're being deceptive. Because I've explained something to you, and it's not that you don't know. Because I've explained something very clearly. You keep circling around, wording things a certain way that's very deceptive.
So what, you think I'm getting up here and what do you think?
That's what I'm trying to see. Okay, why do you keep trying to make me a leader?
No, I'm not making you a leader.
Yeah, you are. You keep trying to say that. Why do you keep doing that?
I was just trying to show you respect and not say that you're not a leader.
That's fine. But if you respect, I said I'm not a leader. You keep trying to crowbar a leader thing. Why are you doing that?
But no, what I just circled back and said, do you feel like you switched up? That had nothing to do with being a leader.
Yeah, but you keep bringing up leader.
No, said I brung up you switching up. That's
okay. What did I switch up? What did I switch up?
I'm saying switch up your stance, because now it's like you're big on anti-African this and that, but you didn't always have that rhetoric. So I said it's okay to switch up, but I'm asking, like, why? Did you get a new piece of information that made you say, like,
did I? Why do you think I switched up? Why do you say I switched?
Man, she's just being super vague. You switched up, okay? Like, what did he switch up on? Tell me specifically. You switched up. You used to think this, and now you think that. Instead, she's just vaguely saying, you switched up. I mean, you switched up. What did he switch up? Could you be more specific? If you're going to levy an accusation, have something concrete. Just sounds like incoherent babble.
Switched up.
Because you was pushing a different agenda at first. Like it
what?
wasn't, I didn't feel like it was separating ourselves from them. I felt like it was unifying all of us together, and I don't want to say lumping us into one, but now it seems a little bit different. I'm not trying to be deceptive by asking this, because you can switch up, because I at first wanted to be unified.
Okay, you're talking fast, sweetie. What did I switch up from? What was I pushing before again? Because you keep saying I switched up. Let me hear, what did I switch up on?
I felt like you were pushing, and I'm not trying to say you're wrong. I'm not against you. I support the cause. You're talking
fast, dear. You keep saying something, so I want you to elaborate on it.
I feel like you were pushing us all being together as one.
You feel? What did I say?
I can't quote you exactly, Tyreek. I'm just saying.
You keep saying I pushed something and I switched up, but you can't quote it directly. Why can't you do that, dear? Then why do you keep saying I switched up?
So, but did you? I'm asking you.
You're telling me I switched up.
No, if somebody says, do
from
you
what?
feel like you switched up from pushing us all being together as one to now?
Now she's playing games. She's acting like she's asking a question, but she's also making a statement and an observation saying that he did switch up, but she can't say exactly what he switched up on.
Us being separate.
Pushing together as one how? What you're not saying anything. What are you saying? What do you mean?
I feel like you understand, but I guess the way that
you're not answering. You just saying stuff.
Caribbeans, Africans, like this unity, because I feel that's what Pan-Africanness is, like just unity, unifying all of us as one, not Black Americans separating themselves from Caribbeans, separating themselves from Africans.
Go to Africa and preach about Pan-Africanism. Africa, 54 countries, 3,000 plus tribes, 2,000 plus dialects. Does that sound unified? Go to the Caribbean. We'll just use Jamaica, for example. Jamaicans aren't unified. Many Jamaicans can't even go to the beautiful beaches in Jamaica. Much of Jamaica's industry is run by tourism, non-Black Jamaicans. That doesn't sound like unity.
But now it's, you're pushing us being separate. And I'm just wondering, was it something that said, okay, like now, because for me...
are they pushing unity? Caribbeans and Africans?
No, I feel like they are very separate. And I wanted unity with them at first too. I found out how they thought about us. So I'm just asking.
She admits that she believes or she feels that Africans and Caribbeans are not unified. Yet she comes up here to ask Tariq multiple times, oh, well, why did you switch up? I mean, you used to be pushing Pan-Africanism and unity. I mean, why would you even ask that question when you believe that these groups are operating in bad faith and are not trying to unify with us? What is the motive behind asking, well, why did you switch up? I mean, what, do you want them to go back to some Pan-African stuff? This conversation is just aimless and asinine.
Was it something that made you say like, this is not in our best interest? And I feel like you're taking it as an attack, but it's not me trying to attack you.
Yeah, because I keep explaining myself, but obviously it's not good enough, because you've kind of circled back and you've kind of made some accusatory statements after I've said I'm not a leader and I'm not switching up on anything. But you're like, well, do you feel like you switched up because of this? Well, do you feel like you're a leader because of that? So it seems like you're trying to crowbar a narrative, and I'm trying to see where that's coming from, dear. That's all.
I just literally told you because I thought a certain way, and then I switched up how I felt, and it seems like you've switched up how you felt. It's not me trying to.
It sounds like you're projecting because you switched up and now you're trying to figure out, okay, I switched up and maybe Tariq switched up too. If you switched up, stop projecting your reasons for switching up and stop insinuating stuff. She already is going in spaces with these bad faith, disingenuine, terrible tethers, and then she's acting all confused. I just don't understand why they're saying this. I just can't understand why they're saying that. Yes, that's the whole point of them being a tether, a tap dancing tether, because they don't care about having our best interest at heart. They are there to undermine and denigrate. It's not confusing. It's no different than a Sambo, a raccoon. All that is a tether is just a raccoon that's not of the lineage. This shouldn't be confusing.
Railroad you or anything. It's just wondering, did something happen where you said this is in our best interest to separate ourselves from them? That's all I'm asking. It's not for you to be.
You switched up. So why did you said you changed the way you view. So what made you switch up?
Kind of having interactions with them, fellowship, and hearing them say things like, you have no culture, you guys were just slaves, saying that we're lazy. Basically the way they thought of us. Since I grew up in the Midwest, it's not very diverse there. So when I moved to Houston and started, meeting different people, making different friendships, and the closer you get to people and they get comfortable and they think that maybe like, oh, you're different from other Black Americans, the other ones are lazy. That's what made me switch up, is finding out how they viewed us.
And that's the stereotype that's extremely disgusting, especially from someone that fled their homeland. You were too lazy to build in your homeland, so you fled to somewhere that was already built. I mean, that's as lazy as it gets. That's just as cowardly as it gets. But we're supposed to look at that as something noble. Oh, he fled his homeland so he can work 3 jobs in America. Let's give him a pat on the back. No, why did you create 3 jobs in your homeland? So if I say that, that's xenophobic. But immigrants coming over here saying, oh yeah, man, those are katas, those FBAs, they're lazy. That's not xenophobic. That's not anti-Black, right?
Because at first I could see a Caribbean and not know that they were a Caribbean, because they would look like me, talk like me. It's not until you start doing business with them and they very much want you to know that they're not Black Americans. So I wasn't
so you didn't switch up. So you didn't switch up because of me.
No, I didn't. I don't.
So that
your
right there,
work
right?
or anything like that.
Right. So that shows that I'm not your leader. Because
no, I don't think you're my leader at all.
Right.
I never thought that. Now, I never
saying.
thought that. I said you're a leader, not my leader.
Right. I'm nobody's leader. That's the point. A lot of people felt just like you. They start thinking, okay, a lot of these non-FBA people are kind of being disrespectful. They are.
Yeah, my views are my views alone. I don't look at Tariq as my daddy and say, well, Tariq said this and that's why I have to have this disposition. No, I go based on my own research, my own volition, right? And my own critical thinking, not cognitive dissonance.
Really erasing our lineage and our history here. So we instinctively felt that we have to protect it. Right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right.
And that's all I was asking. Was it like your interactions with them or what?
And nobody led you to that. You came up with that on your own, just like several other people, ma'am.
Yeah. Tyreek, I'm not saying you made me think away. I don't follow your work close enough for you to make me think
I know
away.
that. That's my point, dear. That's the point I'm making.
No, it wasn't because of you. This is just my interaction with them. I chose that I don't like Africans because of how they think, how they've treated me in business, the things that they said.
Right. And I don't dislike Africans. I don't even go that way with it. I don't dislike Africans, but I'm not going to allow people who come over here with vitriol to undermine us and our lineage and do little janky stuff. That gets checked. So that's all I do. But there's no switch up. I'm just protective of our lineage.
Yeah, the days of unregulated tethering are over. Y'all had y'all time to shine, to call us a Katas, Jarir, a bead, Yanks in a derogatory manner. Okay, cool. And then many of y'all was crying, You called me an African booty scratcher in the 3rd grade. Nigga, I got called an African booty scratcher and I'm not African. Get over it. When we get called nigger with the hard ER, stop crying. It's just a word. So is tether, and so is African booty scratcher. Or should I call you a tether booty scratcher?
And that's what it is. All right.
Okay, I respect it. Thank you.
There you go. All right, dear. Thank you so much. All right. Hello, ass tried to be slick. All right. You tried to be slick, but it's okay. Oh, she tried to be slick. I don't know where that.
And just so y'all know, I'm gonna get ready to shut her down soon. But before I do, I just want to give y'all a friendly reminder and hit y'all. Time for a like intermission. We kindly request that you show love to the channel's creator and platform by leaving a like, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest content. Liking posts is completely free and helps the algorithm boost our reach. We want to grow the community larger and larger. So thank you all who take the time to support us. It does mean the world to us and doesn't go unnoticed.
Coming from. Then she started fast talking. Okay. Well, you got to watch these people. You sound like she's trying to be a little slick. Then she started fast talking a little bit. Yeah, listen. A lot of people, they didn't need me to lead them. A lot of people came to the conclusion, let's be very clear, a lot of foundational Black Americans, they realized that, hey, some of these people coming over here, they ain't on the same page. And people collectively, on their own, said, hey, we kind of have to look out for our lineage because we got so many of these non-FBAs running around here start telling us we ain't got culture, we're this, we're lazy. We start hearing this stuff. And people are like, hey, what the hell is that about? We start seeing these people who we thought were, you know, we all black, we all black, we all together, we black, we black, we black. And then when they win awards, they hop on stage and start shouting out, hey, this one is for Jamaica. Hey, I want to dedicate my Grammy for the Dominican Republic. Oh, I want to dedicate my MVP to Puerto Rico. We start seeing these people go out of their way to delineate from us whenever they get a win. I mean, the minute they get a win, these folks will yell at the top of their lungs, we ain't the same. And I'm like, oh, it's like that? We doing it like that? There's a restaurant that I like down in Miami, Golden Crust. Golden Crust. For the longest, it was, you know, it's a Caribbean restaurant, it's a Jamaican restaurant. I love Golden Crust. My brother Carl, the promoter, took me down there. That's my Nigerian brother. But he would take me down there to Golden Crust in Miami. Loved it. Golden Crust, I love Golden Crust food. And there was some big acquisition with Golden Crust recently. They, I think they're going to be franchised into airports or something like that, which is big. That's big. They have Golden Crust in Atlanta. I know they got one in New York, right? They got one in Tampa. Yeah, they're franchising them. Yeah, I love Golden Crust. The food is good. I like Golden Crust. But they got this acquisition, and in the media, it was like the first Black Caribbean franchise something. And all the headlines were they're like Black Caribbean, Black Caribbean, Black Caribbean, Black Caribbean. The Black Caribbean owned, Black Caribbean owned, Black Caribbean owned. Okay. They make sure to delineate, which is cool. All right, we doing that. That's okay. They are shouting out black. It started in New York, right? It did start in New York. It started in New York. And now that they got this big acquisition, it's like Black Caribbean, the Black Caribbean owned, Black Caribbean owned, Black Caribbean owned. All right. So when the money comes, boy, y'all want to let people know, hey, this is a Caribbean. It's a win for the Caribbean. And we want to do the same with our lineage. All people want to say, oh, we switched up. Well, no. How we switch up?
So y'all get the gist of the video. And this is an issue that we have. See, and this is why I say, hold your own nuts, hold your own lineage, hold your own accomplishments, hold your own filth, hold your own failures. What's been happening is when many of these other groups, when they do something great, this is a win for Haiti, this is a win for Puerto Rico, this is a win for Brazil. But if a black Brazilian does a crime, if a black Jamaican does a crime, then that's just black culture, black on black crime. Nah, that was a Jamaican person who was fighting an African person. That's Caribbean on African crime. See, why you being divisive? We all black? Nah, man. That's a Jamaican black, and that is a black person from Senegal. Why is it so hard for us to be accurate? Because see, what people want to do is use our lineage as a dumping ground. So for instance, Kodak Black is Haitian. When he's going in and out of jail, that's just black culture. No, that's Haitian culture. No, you can't say that. But you can say that it's black culture. And when they say black culture, they're specifically talking about black American culture. So FBA culture takes the cultural filth, and then meanwhile, other cultures just get to preserve their reputation of, whatever mythical prestige that they have. Nah, man. Look, every community has folly and filth, and also they have, a lot of fabulous things about their community as well. Do we want to highlight the fabulous and the fantastic, or do we want to uplift and promulgate the filth? Because we can play that game as well. You want to talk about how ratchet and, oh man, y'all got baby mama culture. Well, the highest paternity fraud is in Jamaica, the Caribbean. So do we want to start generalizing the baby mama culture, the bastard babies, the deadbeat dads? But no, y'all want to put that on FBA, and then y'all just get to preserve your Caribbean culture as being, charismatic and cool. Nah, man. Hold your own filth. But I want to thank everybody that's come, that was watching the stream live, and that will be watching the stream on the replay. I have to let y'all know that I sincerely appreciate y'all. And I want to give y'all a thank you.
You love me. You really love me. You're not going anywhere.
And to all my lovely, loyal supporters, you know what won't cost you a fee? The likes. They are free. Hit the like for your boy, share, comment, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you had too many Starbucks, or you say, you know what, forget McDonald's, they don't have a dollar menu anymore. Instead of getting something off the value menu that's really not valuable, you can make a valuable contribution to the Cash App.
Don't you think it's about time you gave me my money?
Want my money? I need cash. Please send that money. Please send that money. Please send that money. Want my money? I need cash. Want my money? I need cash. Want my money?
And I told y'all I wasn't going to be here for a long time, but I guess I kind of lied to y'all. I was here over an hour, so that is a long time, but it was a strong time. But don't trip. I'm getting ready to shut her down. But before I do that,
That was nasty, bro, like a nasty. Oh, I got a nasty flow. My baddie, though, is a classy bro. I manage her and she escort. International exports. I got hardware, my tech support. Really about that business, cause I'm that dude that you just adore. Used to be on that block, equipped with a Glock. I sold all kind of dope. 10 toes down on the pavement. I send that bitch like an envelope. Enclosed with a love letter. I love cheddar, so I grind hard. I be putting that work in, but I ain't punching no time card. When it comes to being a boss, nigga, I am the epitome. You keep hating, belly aching, but it takes more to get rid of me. I am full of energy, but I ain't feeling jittery. I'm just grinding, shining like a diamond, looking glittery. Literally, I just left the bank to deposit racks. Holla back, don't want no shoes and clothes because my closet's packed. I got hella different kicks just like Lionel Messi. Still be rocking Jordans, but I prefer Giuseppe.
So this has been a fruitful stream. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I will see y'all on the next one. And make sure after the stream, leave a thumbs up, leave a thumbs down. If you hated the stream, tell me how much of a POS I am in the comments. Troll lives matter. I'm getting ready to shut her down, but you know, I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah. Hey. Ooh. Yeah. Hey. B-Eazy, that dude. Yeah. Hey. Shit so hot it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. I bring the pain like an aftermath of a car wreck. There's a lot of niggas that say they real, but to me that shit is far-fetched. Most them cats is pussy. They really is on some feminine stuff. I ride up on them with the 40 ounces. The definition of adrenaline. What he do is sweet like cinnamon puffer. My niggas is rough like Willow Pass. Grew up out on Mary Mac, but I used to hang on Willow Pass. These birds that I roll with, outcasts and misfits. For the zip lips so you get hit when the fifth spit. Flat line in your fit hit. Trap habits is black magic, no voodoo. Get the bands like Buku. For the cocaine they go cuckoo. Most these niggas is foo-foo, so I'm shitting on them like doo-doo. I can't fuck with y'all like tofu. I'm just saying, man, like Goku. Bad bitches at the house with me watching Netflix or Roku. Fuck them both at the same time, and I swear to God it was so cool. Street legend, real boss, I call shots cause I'm still saucy. I know some G's to the bike crack on shite racking and fly back out the mill. When they hear me flow, they say I be burning up, burning up. Cookie to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up.